And we have Etienne Charles on the line. Etienne, welcome to WPFW.
Thank you so much, Rusty. Good to be chatting.
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, Etienne, what got you into this music, particularly what we call jazz, but the mix of the Creole and all of that when you were growing up in Trinidad? What got you hooked on the music?
I mean, I got hooked on the music pretty late. It was after about maybe age 16, 17, I started doing a lot of listening to different recordings, specifically like Lee Morgan, Clifford Brown, Wynton Marsalis, Louis Armstrong, etc. And that was my introduction to the music. I got stuck in there. Monty Alexander, people like Monty Alexander, etc. And I just went down the rabbit hole of all of the different people to play. You know.
Wow. When did you first meet Monty Alexander? He's someone I've known for 50 years now.
Yeah, I was 20 years old. I was in New York for the summer of 2004, and I went to see him play at the Iridium. I met him there.
Then, when you were still in Trinidad, what drew you to the trumpet? How did you start playing that?
My uncle gave me a trumpet.
Mm-hmm. Then, what were the lessons that you had starting off?
Excellent. I started taking lessons with a teacher named Eddie Wade in Trinidad, and then Tony Woodruff at the Brass Institute, and then it just evolved and evolved. Started playing in a couple different bands, and I moved to the U.S. to study at Florida State University, and then Juilliard in New York.
Mm-hmm. So how long you've been in New York for quite a while now, haven't you?
Well, I left New York. I was in New York from 2006 to 9, and then I moved to Michigan. And then after Michigan, I moved to Miami, to teach University of Miami. So that's where I am now.
Okay, right. This Creole Orchestra project, it's really fantastic. A mix of old material, new material, jazz standards. It's really fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Sullivan Fortner is somebody I've interviewed, and he's incredible. How did you assemble all the musicians for this?
I mean, it's just musicians that I've known for years that I wanted to put this music down with, and that's how we created the sound. You know, it's an album of personalities, even though it's a large ensemble. It's a group of personalities, so that's what makes it what it is.
And so, what are you going to be doing when you're performing at the Carnival room?
We're going to do some of the music from Creole Orchestra, but in a small group format.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a couple other surprises in store. The great Brian Godwin Louis on alto saxophone, who is featured on Creole Orchestra. Also, Alex Wentz, who's on the Creole Orchestra album. And then Axel Tosca on piano, Victor Provost on steel pan, Lino Piquero Bueno on bass, and Pavel Nakundi on the drums.
Wow, Victor Provost, old friend, he from St. John Island, and it's a fantastic connection there also. Wow.
Yeah, the Virgin Islands and the history of jazz is very, very important, especially with people like Sonny Rollins bringing his taste of it to the music when he recorded Son Thomas. And that was one of the big influxes of the Caribbean sound at that time into the music again, and so keeping that VI strong energy, I always have to call my brother Victor Provost.
Absolutely, good friend of mine. I'm glad you've hooked up with him and got him included at the Carnival room. Carnival room is located down at 1350 I Street Northwest. It's really a fantastic place, bar and supper club. And if you go to their website, you can get ticket information in terms of how to get tickets for the show tomorrow night. You have one of my favorite people on this recording. I've known her since her career got started back in the 1990s, and she was already mature then, but she's just incredible. A close friend, Renee Marie. How did you connect with Renee?
I met Renee almost 20 years ago at a jazz festival in Tallahassee, Florida. She was a featured vocalist with a quintet led by Leon Anderson, who was my mentor and teacher, and I was in his band. And when I moved to New York, she used to come through New York all the time. She used to play, back then she used to play Dizzy's, and she used to play the jazz standard. So I would go check her out and sit in with the group, and every time I did an album, I would make sure she got a copy. And when I did Kaiso, which was the first time I had a full-length album with 3 horns on it, she told me she liked the writing and she liked the sound of the horns, and that when she was going to be getting ready to do another album, she wanted to have 3 horns on it, and she wanted me to do the writing for it, and that's how our relationship working together started.
Oh, fantastic! She is really incredible, and you know, I hooked up with her just as her career was getting started. She was at Blues Alley, and we've you know, I've been featuring her music ever since. So, how did you select some of the old jazz standards on this thing, like Stomping at the Savoy, things like that? What went into your thought process of what we're going to include?
Well, one of the things I wanted to do is have big band music from as many different decades as possible, right? So if you go through the song list, almost every decade since the inception of the big band as we know it is covered. But something at the Savoy I also wanted to do because of the history of the Savoy Ballroom.
Sure.
With Chick Webb's orchestra and young Ella Fitzgerald singing in the band, young Sinatra getting his start in the band. The idea of the big band being the engine for people to dance. You know, one thing I wanted to do with Creole Orchestra is bring back the energy of dance music to the big band. So, and something is the way the melody bounces, it just naturally dances. And so that's how I started crafting the arrangement, and then it just went. It came out pretty quickly.
I see. You also have a night train included in this, and what I do in my jazz history course is I take night train back to Duke Ellington and Happy Go Lucky Local, and then I play Jimmy Forrest's version, but then I get the class jumping on James Brown's version. So
you know.
So I see what you're doing on this. What I selected and what I have queued up is Centerpiece that Renee Marie sings on, and I have Annie Ross queued up afterwards because it's her birthday anniversary the other day. You know,
nice.
You know, so I really love this album. I really appreciated that we've got hooked up and I can feature it on my show.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
So again, tomorrow night at the Carlisle room on I Street, and so we're going to be doing music from this album, some other stuff, and you have musicians who are featured on the recording. So this is awesome. And I really want to thank you for calling in tonight, and we hooked this up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for spinning the record and checking it out. For spinning Centerpiece, you know. So that's been ridiculous. The way she sings on it really blew me away, you know.
Fantastic. Etienne Charles, thank you much, and I'm sure you're gonna fill up the club tomorrow night. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you. Great to chat. See you all tomorrow night.
Got it.